Welcome to the modern world, where multitasking is celebrated as the ultimate skill, and everyone is juggling act in a circle called life. But what if I told you that multitasking is a myth? Hello, my name is Pooja Nitin Purval. I'm a career growth coach and an IT professional. So let's get started. So today we are diving into why multitasking is like chasing unicorns, magical but non-existent. So buckle up, we are about to burst some bubbles. So let's first understand what is multitasking. As the name suggests, multitasking is when you tackle more than one task at the same time, or that is what you think. However, when we multitask, we actually switch between multiple tasks in a rapid succession. For example, all of us almost are guilty of reading messages during a meeting or meeting break. Now, this might feel productive after all. You're using the time that would otherwise be wasted just waiting. But in fact, even briefly looking at your messages impact your ability to concentrate for the rest of the meeting. Depending upon how important the message is, this concentration block could last for hours or even rest of the day. In short, multitasking is a myth, but most of us still end up doing it. The research shows that almost 3 in 4 employees, a whooping 72%, feel pressure to multitask during the day. With the rise of remote working, it's gotten to an even worse level. We all have multitasked during our virtual meetings at one point or another, compared to how it was pre-COVID period, right? So even though we all knew what is multitasking, I still gave you a refresher. And I mean, let's be honest with ourselves, right? We all have attempted to reply to an email, have a coffee, and have a phone conversation all at once. And yes, I am guilty of doing it. I know all of us are guilty of doing this as well. So yes, we all do multitasking and we fail as well. It's not like a lot of us succeed. In fact, as studies shows, there are only 2.5% people in the whole world who actually have the mental capacity to multitask. It's very easy for systems and servers to do it. However, when it comes to human minds, it's very difficult, and that's why only 2.5% people are able to do it. And there is a high chance you are not one of those 2.5%. So the rest of us are just fooling ourselves. In fact, research at Stanford University reveals that multitasking reduces productivity, and there is also a possibility of it lowering your IQ by up to 15 points. So, unless you are part of the elite 2.5%, multitasking is more of a myth for you than a reality. You see, human brains are designed to focus on one task at a time. When we switch between the tasks, it's not seamless. Each switch requires a cognitive shift, which takes time and energy. This is known as task switching cost. It's like trying to watch two movies at the same time, one rom com and other horror. And when you do that, you know that it's confusing and exhausting. And the time required for human beings to make this switch depends on a multitude of factors such as complexity of the task, individual cognitive processes, and environmental distractions. However, research has shown that task switching, also known as multitasking, can significantly impact productivity and efficiency. Let's look at some statistics and fact related to task switching. The first, time lost due to task switching. So, as I mentioned before, when we multitask, we actually switch from one task to another in rapid succession. Studies have found that task switching can result into significant loss of productivity. According to a research conducted by the American Psychological Association APA, task switching can cause a loss of 40% of productive time. So if you are, let's say, working 8 hours a day, this can actually be close to 3.5 hours a day, which can get lost. The second is the cognitive load. So, cognitive load is related to your brain. and task switching imposes a cognitive load on your brain as it must disengage from one task and refocus on another. And the more rapidly you do the task switching, the more cognitive load increases on your brain. So, according to a study which was published in the Journal of Psychological Experimentation, Human Perception and Performance, task switching can increase cognitive workload and decrease performance on both the tasks that you are doing at the same time. The third one is recovery time. It takes time for individuals to fully recover and regain focus after switching tasks. Research suggests that it can take an average of up to 25 minutes to resume a task after being interrupted or switching to another task. According to study conducted by Gloria Mark at the University of California. The next problem with multitasking is, or task switching if I should call it like that now, errors and decreased accuracy. Task switching can also lead to errors and decreased accuracy in task performance. A study published found that task switching was associated with an increased number of errors and a decrease in accuracy compared to a single task performance. And this also have an impact on your stress and well-being. Task switching can contribute to increased stress and decreased well-being. Constantly switching between tasks can lead to feelings of overwhelm, fatigue, and burnout. So, looking at these facts, we all know now the detrimental effect of task switching on our productivity, our performance, and our well being. To mitigate the negative impacts of task switching, individuals can implement time management strategies such as the plain to do list, wherein we prioritize tasks, or minimize distractions around you, or batch similar tasks together to reduce the need for frequent switches. Additionally, fostering an environment that supports focused attention and uninterrupted work periods can help improve your productivity and efficiency. But yes, coming this far into the video, you guys would still be thinking, oh, but yes, I am able to multitask when I'm driving my car and listening to music, or when I'm on my run and listening to an audiobook. But is this really multitasking? When we have reached a degree of automaticity on a particular task, which does not require so much of cognitive brain processing on our brain's part, then we can do one or more things simultaneously. So, for example, if you are running and have run the same route every day for a period, then your body and your brain knows where you are going and it doesn't need to pay as much attention. So, it can focus and enjoy the music. However, if you take a new track, you may have to lower the volume so that you can focus. The same is with driving to your work. So, if it is a familiar route that you take every day, then you might be able to listen to music or a podcast or even an audiobook and enjoy the same, learn from it. However, if it is a new route, then you need to focus more on the road and you may not be able to enjoy the music or the audiobook or the podcast as much. And I know for sure that you would have experienced this and would agree with me on this. So, multitasking isn't the case when you don't have that level of automaticity with the task. So, now that you have realized multitasking is possibly making you go slower, then what is it that can help you? So, here are some alternatives that I can suggest to boost your productivity and keep your sanity. So, first up, create a to do list. As they say, never start a day unless you have lived it. So that necessarily means that you list out all the tasks that you want to achieve for the day. Prioritize these tasks and tackle them one at a time. Next is try time blocking. Create blocks of time in your calendar wherein you would focus on a particular task and stick to that schedule. You can also do your work if it requires too much of focus, time, and concentration. Then go ahead, use Pomodoro techniques. Use do not disturb features on your messengers, on your chats, even on your Zoom settings, Google Meets. And don't forget mindfulness. Meditate, be present. and be there in your every task so that you can improve your focus and performance. So let me challenge you to do this for the next week. Try ditching multitasking and focus on one task at a time and see how you feel. Share your experiences in the comments below. I'm curious to know if this myth busting works for you. So, there you have it. Multitasking isn't the superhero skill that we thought it is. It's time we give it the boot and embrace the power of single tasking. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss our next video. Until next time, stay focused and be fabulous. Remember, multitasking is a myth, but being focused and productive and stress free is totally real. See you in the next video.